This is my attempt to demonstrate to you how you can install a MQTT broker using Mosquitto in Amazon Linux operating system. So the Amazon operating system, the Amazon Linux operating system we will be using, I will make use of the AWS Academy sandbox account for that. So I navigate all the way in the modules to the sandbox, and in sandbox environment I will be able to create a new account and then I will work with that. So I'll click on Start Lab. So this essentially creates the instance that will be available for next 4 hours. So while this happens, you can take a look at uh, the manual where you can see what kind of services will be available for you in this AWS account and how can you actually get connected to the EC2 instance that you will create in this account. Uh, how would you connect using Windows and how can you connect using Mac, stuff like that. Okay, the instance has started. So when I click on AWS, a new tab will open up and then I can um, have access to the like temporarily available AWS account for me. Okay, so what I want from this account is like a server. So I'll click on EC2. So the EC2 dashboard opens up and I'll click on running instances. So there are like no instances running right now. So I'll click on launch instance and I'll select Amazon Linux 2 and I'm okay with a T2 micro instance type. I'll just click on review and launch and I'll say launch. So with AWS Academy account, we usually get the key pair already, so I can make use of that. I'll click I acknowledge and click on launch instance. While this launches the instance, like it'll prepare and give me the instance, I'll go back to my uh, AWS Academy account and click on details and show. That will allow me to look at the secret files. So I'm on Mac, so I'll download the .pem file. I'll save it in my desktop. Okay, now that it's done, I can come back here and then I can see that the EC2 instance is up and running. So I'll just copy this IP address of the EC2 instance. I can go to terminal. First, I'll navigate to desktop and I will limit the permissions of the .pem file that I just downloaded. So I'll do chmod 400 labuser.pem. Then let me connect to the EC2 instance. So I can do ssh ec2-user at the IP address whatever I just copied, and then the identity for that is like labuser.pem. Okay, it asks me to authenticate it. I say yes, and now I should be able to get on into the EC2 instance. Okay, so here I am. Great. The first thing I would like to do is like up, see if there is any update. Okay, with some of the accounts, uh, we usually don't get everything by default, like the extra add-on packages. So what we need to do is do sudo Amazon Linux extras install EPEL. That will download all the necessary packages so I can update and download any new packages that I would like to have. So now I'll do sudo yum update. So this will update the operating system, not update the operating system, it essentially updates all the package information in the operating system. Okay, now that it's done, let me install Mosquitto here. So I'll do sudo yum install Mosquitto, and I'll give assert it with yes, so I don't have to type y or every time it asks me to type that. Okay, great. Now that it's installed, let me see like if Mosquitto has started. I don't see a port 1883 here, which clearly means that it hasn't started. Uh, so the other way of figuring out if the server has started or not is by doing sudo systemctl status mosquitto.service, and it says it's inactive. So let me start it. I'll do sudo systemctl start and mosquitto.service. Okay, now this should have started it for me. Great. Now I can like make a simple publish subscribe and see if it works. Let me open up another terminal, and then I will do first I'll do like SSH into that. I think I'm not in the right one. So EC2 dash user at this IP address, and okay, now that I'm there, I can do Mosquitto subscribe, and topic is, let's say, hello. Now this command is like listening to any message that will probably be coming in this topic. So let me publish it from here. So I'll do mosquitto underscore pub, and the topic is hello, and messages howdy. So if I, since I have sent it here, if I go to that terminal, I should be able to see that message has come here. Let me change it to something longer. Okay, now I should see that has come up, which means that my Mosquitto the MQTT broker is working locally. Uh, Like when I only mention, I mean, the topic here, what also happens is like by default, the Mosquitto gets subscribed to the local host at port 1883 because that's the default. And by default, we don't assert the broker service to request for the username and password as well. So it becomes very simple to connect it this way. Now let me also show it to you how using an external application, I can connect to that broker. So MQTT Lens is like one application available in Mac, Linux, and Windows. So stop whatever I had earlier, and then I'll create a new demo MQTT broker. Okay, and I will copy and paste the IP address of that. By default, it is in port 1883, so I'll just let that be. And by default, we don't require a username and password, so I'll leave that blank and click on create connection. So once I do that, and then I can see that I'm not able to connect to that. The reason is because by default, AWS, whenever I create a EC2 instance, uh, it does not open up all the ports. to begin with, it has opened like only the port 22. If I want more ports to be open uh, in the internet, I have to like edit the inbound rules and add rule. So I want 1883 to be open, and anybody from the internet should be able to access it. So that's why I did this. And then when I save the rules, and if I come back here and if I try to reconnect, now it is able to connect. So yeah, now I have my uh, computer that's connected to my cloud or the MQTT broker hosted on the AWS instance. If I would like to subscribe, I can subscribe here. Let me subscribe to the topic called subscribe. So here, any message that comes, it will just like show up here in this list. Now let me publish to that topic called subscribe, and I'll say this is a message that is published through MQTT lines. And when I click on publish, since I have already subscribed to that topic, I should be able to receive that. Okay, this is like connecting, disconnecting. So I'm assuming there is something wrong with the way the assertions has happened in the service. So what I can do is like I can do cd etc mosquito. So I can like play with the configuration file here. By default, mosquito.conf, that's the configuration file. Let me first make a backup out of that. So mosquito, and then okay, so that's the backup file created. Now you can see I have like another file like this one. So I'll get rid of the default mosquito.conf. Now I will go back and create a new file called mosquito.conf, and I will say it has to be on port 1883, and allow anonymous should be true. Now that I made changes, let me restart the service. Just like delete that and then create a new one. Okay, now it's able to like connect to it, and let me create this topic, subscribe to the topic called demo, and then I'll publish to the topic called demo. Hi there, how are you doing? When I click publish, I am able to see that message here. So like I'm able to see it from my MQTT Lens application, as well as if I subscribe to that from within the instance as well, I should be able to see it. Okay, now I have subscribed to demo here, and then when I click on publish, it publishes here, and also from the terminal, uh, also I am able to see that message here. So if I have like other devices that are connected to my computer, I mean to the MQTT broker, I should be able to see the message uh, going from the publisher to the subscriber